The state will present its closing arguments in the trial of 4 men charged with the murder of Northwest businessman Wandile Bozwana in the Pretoria High Court today. The trial was delayed after the defense demanded original cell phone records from MTN. A cell phone expert earlier told the court the accused used a number of cell phones to communicate as they planned their hit on Bozwana. Sipho Hudla, Robert Mutapa, Bonginkosi Khumalo, and the notorious Mamelodi businessman Vusi Khekhe Mathibela are also charged with attempted murder of Bozwana's colleague Mpho Baloyi, who escaped with multiple gunshot wounds when their vehicle was shot at Grasfontein, east of Pretoria in October 2015. Ofentse Setimo is on the story this morning. Quite a lot of history to the story. Ofentse, what's happening today?
Thank you very much, Desiree. And as you rightfully mentioned in the intro, we are expecting the state to actually make some closing arguments. We know that the case has been dragging following the murder that happened in 2015, where the accused were undecided as to whether they would represent themselves and actually testify in their defense during the trial. And that has actually made the trial to actually drag for a very long time. We know that also the defense lawyer, one of the defense lawyers actually passed away, actually delaying the case even further. It has dragged for over 7 years, where the court had to now hear the accused actually say that the charges should be dropped as there isn't enough evidence against them that has been gathered by the state to accuse them of killing Bozwana back in 2015. But CCTV footage in Sandton at Mandela Square allegedly allocated one of the accused in this matter, and that was the location where Bozwana was shopping with his business associate at the time, and they moved from Johannesburg coming to Pretoria. There was cell phone data that was located where the cell phones of the 3 accused could ping close to locations where Bozwana was actually traveling. So the court came to a conclusion that there was sufficient evidence for the matter to stand and for the accused to actually answer to the murder and attempted murder. Now, as things stand, we are expecting the prosecution to actually give their closing argument, and then the judge will actually deliberate as to whether he will give the ruling today or probably postpone and give a ruling at a later stage. Desiree?
Ofentse, what time will proceedings begin?
Proceedings are expected to begin at around 10 o'clock, and the accused are also expected to be in court. As you know that Mamelodi's #1 tsotsi, also known as Vusi Khekhe, had his visa taken away from him as he apparently was traveling during the time when he was out on bail. He traveled once to Mauritius, and then he was caught actually trying to travel to Dubai, and that's when the judge actually put his foot down to take the passport and also to have him in custody so that he does not further contravene his bail conditions. So we will hear what the outcome will be following the deliberations by the state as to whether there will be a way forward and the judge to actually give us the sentencing or the judgment, that is.
Just in terms of the, the feeling, the situation outside court, there's always been lots of interest in this case. Has the momentum kept, or is it waning?
Yes, I believe that the lengthy period that it has taken this case to actually take place has actually killed the momentum of the activities that are actually happening outside court with Bozwana supporters that would actually come with placards to say that justice must be served. As you can imagine, the murder took place in 2015 and trial only started 2 years later in 2017. So over time, interest in the matter started waning over time. So I can tell you definitely there isn't much happening outside court. It's a plain, usual day that we would normally know in court. In fact, we've had busier days in court when there would be lesser high-profile cases. But today, that is not the case. There isn't much activity, as we believe that maybe over time, people lost interest in the matter as, it has been dragging. There's been a lot of postponements with defense requesting some of the evidence at the state's possession. So it's just been a to and fro between the state and the defense, making the matter to drag for almost 7 years.
Ofentse, we'll be watching out to see what transpires today. Ofentse Setimo talking to us about the trial of the 4 men charged with the murder of Northwest businessman Wandile Bozwana.